Ronnie Rock, and welcome to Lights, Camera, Action, Episode 1. You know, the commonly most question that I get asked often is, how do I get a more professional shot? Well, number one is get a tripod. If you're used to walking around with your handheld camera, I'm sure you have a lot of shaky film at home. Here's a tripod that I bought from Walmart. It's relatively inexpensive. It's made by a company called Mercury Innovations, and it has a light fluid head type of pan and tilt, which is not quite fluid head, which is a more expensive type of mechanism that's used, which is usually between $200 to $800 or more. This one cost me like $19.99 or $29, between that, depending on the model you choose. But that's one of the things to look for in a professional or Metacore professional tripod. Another thing is a bubble leveler. As you can see, as I rotate this back and forth, the little bubble inside moves. Basically, it works like a handheld leveler that carpenters use, so you can level out your camera on rocky ground. So that's two of the most commonly things to look for in a good tripod. Another thing is extending legs. This one has two sets, and basically it'll extend to about 5 to 6 foot off the ground, which is a pretty decent height. So that's looking at tripods. Something else that you need to look at when dealing with more professional shots is a Steadicam. If you're moving with your camera, you need a Steadicam. And there's a company called Tiffen makes one called Steadicam Merlin. You can find them at www.tiffen.com. It's spelled Tiffen. Notice the link on the screen. And it was built by a guy called Garrett Brown. He was the inventor of the original Steadicam Junior, and the Steadicam Merlin sells for around $849. But if you're on a tight budget, don't fret. There's someone online right now that can make one for you. His name is Johnny Chung Lee. Mr. Lee builds these and sells these down as hobbies for people who are unable to build one of these themselves. His kit's around $39.95 to be exact. And you can get one at www.littlegreatideas.com. And Johnny will show you how to build these if you'd like to try and build one yourself. I recommend getting his kit because it's really professionally put together. It does come in a kit, which means you do have to put it together yourself, but they are pretty easily made. As you can see, I have one in front of me here that I've made myself from looking at Johnny's website. Basically, if you want to try and build it yourself, Johnny will show you how to do it step by step on his website. So when you go to littlegreatideas.com, just look for the link on the top of his page that says $14 Steadicam. Click on that link, it'll take you to a page, shows you all the materials you need to make, how to build it and everything. It's a really good Steadicam. I use it myself. And so here's some videos you can watch on how the Steadicam looks when being used. Check them out. You can see there is a little shake on one of his videos, and he explains it on his webpage why there's a little shaking. He was only using one hand, and so that's why you had a little side-to-side motion there. But they really work well as long as you get you a good stance. Hold your camcorder as in this position, and now make sure when you walk, kind of bend your knees to give your camera stability and yourself. to take a little bit of bounce out of your step when you're moving with your Steadicam. So again, here is what the Steadicam Merlin looks like. This is the more professional $849 Steadicam Merlin put out by Tiffin. And again, Johnny's design, which works extremely well for the novice user. So when you go to littlegreatideas.com, make sure you check out the list on Johnny's page that tells you if your camera is compatible with his Steadicam kit. I use a small Sony camera on his Steadicam, and it works extremely well. I also use a larger camera, which is the Sony Z1U, which ranges 5 to 6 pounds. So, like I said, they work extremely well. And just check out the list before you order the kit. If you're not sure, if it's not on the list, go ahead and send him an email and ask him, and he'll get back with you and let you know. Every videographer knows that good camera techniques sets him apart from other videographers. So, let's look at some different camera angles that we can use to make our results better and more impressive. Let's start with the most common used camera angle, which is on the shoulder. I'll be using a chair to demonstrate what these different positions look like. This is what over-the-shoulder camera angle would look like. Now let's drop down to an underarm position. And this is what an underarm position would look like. Now let's go down to waist level. And this is what a waist level shot would look like. Now we drop all the way down to the ground for a really low level shot, and let's see what this would look like. And now last but not least, a way over the head shot, and let's see what that would look like. So if you are a wedding event videographer, remember these camera angle techniques. Watcha! Remember, the most commonly used camera angle is number 1. Over-the-shoulder technique. Now let's go to something new. Number 2, under the arm. Number 3, at the waist level. Number 4, all the way to the ground. And last but not least, number 5, way up above over the head for a high angle shot. You use these camera techniques in your video production and you will look more professional. Thank you for watching Lights Camera Action. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you learned something, and I hope it makes your videographer techniques improved. So stay tuned for episode 2, where we'll be talking about how to build a poor man's reflector. So let's think back. What did we learn in episode 1? We learned camera angle techniques. We learned how to build a poor man's Steadicam for $14. And we learned about tripods. So be looking for more techniques and tips and tricks in episode 2. See you soon!